No, fuck roads. Just walk, nerd.
I just started recording as you said fuck roads. Based, thank you, Cow.
Gotta title the video that now.
No, it's you could turn 6, actually.
You could
Alright,
turn
anyway.
6.
Alright, anyway, so this is Spirit Island. It is a cooperative game where you play essentially Native American spirits, and your job is to fucking murder colonial invaders.
Wait a second, is there a spirit of the corn?
No, but you could just play the fucking trees. That is literally an option.
But
Vietnam?
You don't understand it. There are literal, like, Indian corn demons.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am a spread of rampant green. I speak for the trees. The trees say fuck you.
Exactly.
I wanted to play the Downpour Drenches the World, but
okay, so if this is your first time playing this game,
yeah,
I highly recommend picking up one of these three.
Which ones?
I would say either the stone or the river. The shadows flicker is actually probably on the lower end of recommendation, but it's still easier to play than a lot of the other ones.
What is the progression?
Shadows Flicker is simple, but it's also bad.
What is it?
Yeah.
River Surges is okay, and Vital Strength
has a lot of defense.
Very good. Yeah,
Vital Strength is really good.
Yeah.
Vital Strength, if you play defensive as Vital Strength, it becomes an immovable wall. It's great.
So my question is...
we've currently got good offense and good utility.
Fuckery.
Yeah.
Mainly fuckery. That's what you do.
Yeah.
So, Shadows is fuckery?
No. What Caleb is playing is fuckery. I keep an eye on the red bar. The larger your red bar, the more difficult that thing is to play. So
yeah. So my question is, what is the progression deck and what is the aspect deck?
The aspect deck is something you'll use when you're more familiar with the game, and the progression deck is baby mode.
Which is why only the low complexity
or starters
ones get the one. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, the aspect decks make your complexity higher. The progression deck makes it even less complex.
So Shadows Flicker like
complexity
flame.
is also is kinda, but not always, a rough determination of power. So the more complex the character is, that means the more complex and intricate its combos can be, which generally means more strength, because comboing, the more shit you can do in a single combo, the more powerful that combo is. Clearly.
I'm gonna everyone around the battlefield.
I'm gonna pick Fireboy because I like the idea of scaring the shit out of people.
Cool. And then lastly, Human. Who do you want to pick? I will not stop you from picking anyone. I just highly recommend on your first time picking one of the start 4.
We've got a good mix of powers across the 4 of us, so we're not particularly needing anything.
So that means you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I mean, for a beginner, River Surges is a decent card.
Yeah, River Surges is probably slightly better than Vital Strength for a beginner, but Vital Strength, I actually really like Vital. It's one of my favorites.
It takes some setup, though.
Yeah, but once he's ready to go, he just says, this area here, nothing fucking happens.
Fuck this area. Yeah.
Like, this area, this is under my protection. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Whoa. Finder of paths unseen.
Don't play them unless you like making...
maximum.
Offense. Negative.
Nothing.
It's not even nothing. Notice how the bar actually goes slightly down.
It hampers us?
It hampers your damage, yes.
Finders of Path Unseen doesn't just have no damage capability, it actually has as part of its abilities, if it ever gains the ability to deal damage, it gets weaker.
Based. So, my question is, what the fuck does the high utility of this thing mean? What does this mean? Starlight seeks its form. Question marks. Oh, build your own spirit. Okay,
Don't
understandable.
play Starlight Seeks Its Form if you're new to the game.
Yeah, I very
Starlight
recommend
Starlight
not
does
touch.
everything if you know what you're doing.
So
But you
do not
don't.
touch Finder of Paths Unseen, Fractured Dade, Split the Sky, or Starlight Seeks Its Form on your first try.
So which one has
I would
the highest?
Generally,
I
don't
would
touch
even
Finder of
say
Paths
do not
Unseen at
touch
all.
Shades of Sun and Moon on your first try either.
Ugh, yeah.
What is this token that's on it?
That's the Sun Moon token.
Oh, okay.
It has a weird gimmick.
Oh.
The furry? Which furry?
Oh, that furry. Then hit choose spirit. And it's not a
Oh.
furry, it's literally just a tiger.
It's all of the tigers.
Alright.
Encoding overloaded. Yikers.
Okay.
Alright. Our island looks kind of like a demon or a bull. Your pick.
Not it's the knight from Hollow Knight.
If you flip it
It's
upside,
a crab!
if you flip it upside down,
Hate the crab.
it's actually a head crab.
Uh-huh.
And if you flip it to its
It's actually
side,
from Metroid. It's a
it's a
It's a
What's the thing
Metroid.
from
Yeah,
Metroid?
it's definitely a Metroid.
it's a Metroid for Metroid.
yeah.
Alright,
I
so,
am going to take this board.
okay. Go on and set up Caleb.
How this works?
I don't know how this works, so you guys acting on your own, kind of, and not explaining it doesn't help.
One moment, let Caleb get set
We're
up
going
because
to.
his is very important. Okay, now, let's see here.
You
Cal,
can look at the back of things using
Yep,
by
me?
pressing
you're
Alt
getting
Shift.
this. You're getting
That's
this board. This one right here.
Why?
Because
it's good for your character.
Why?
it's good for your character.
So
Can I
your
get
character
explained?
says, okay, your character says as it's set up, which is on the back of its board, which you can
Oh.
see by holding Alt and Shift while hovering your mouse over it. Put 2 presents on your starting board in the highest numbered sand. So he's
Okay.
chosen a good board for that because that gives you a very nice central starting location.
Alright, put
Yeah.
3 things on your starting board. 2 in the highest numbered jungle and 1 in land number 5.
Okay.
Land number
So
5.
you need to pick one of the boards that isn't taken and those things.
So are these...
If you chose here, you would put all 3 in one location. So don't choose there. You generally want to be spread out so that you can hit multiple
You're not
areas.
explaining anything so far.
Okay.
Like...
So it's land number 5 and the highest number jungle. Now, the entire map is made up of 5 boards, right? Each player gets a board that they choose to start on. And if you look on the board, it is made up of 8 tiles.
Alright.
Bigger fish, you can tell that whether it's a 6 or a 9 by remembering that there aren't any 9s.
There's
Right.
no such thing as 9 here.
Yes. So there's 4 different
Hold on,
types
fish.
of tile. There is sands, wetlands, jungle, and rock, mountain.
Where'd you
I
get
think.
that?
I think it's mountains.
Okay.
So that's how you know that. What's going on?
Fish,
Sure.
your setup is very specialized. You want to do yours last.
Okay. Weird, but alright. So, for the case of Wolf, yours is 2 on the highest numbered jungle and 1 in land number 5. So you would look at the different boards look at the ones that haven't already been claimed. So this board or this board. There.
Okay,
Mouse.
so this board
Why?
would put and then what do I like being in? I assume jungles and then something else.
Well, your one says, what was it, number 5 and
No, but like which
highest numbered jungle.
But
So
okay, so
what you
jungle.
generally want to do is be as spread out as possible so that you can cover as much of the board as you can with your ability. Because your abilities reach out from where you have presence.
Yeah. So the little tiles that are your color are where you're at. Any ability you have starts from that tile and then has a range from that tile. So it will say either 0, so it has to be that tile, 1, which means within 1 tile of that tile, 2, which is in 2 tiles of that tile, or 3, which is 3 tiles from that tile.
And then there's some stuff that doesn't care or does weird stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
So yeah.
One moment. Just wait, Fish. I need...
Alright, put me in this one.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 of your presence goes in highest jungle, which is this one, because it's got the number 6 on it.
Alright.
And 1 goes in land 5. There you go. Which means
Okay, so over here...
bigger fish is left with the top right board.
Yep, so...
And bigger fish
Alright, now, Fish, your other presence can go anywhere on the board that has a paw.
Why is there now two?
Literally anywhere else.
on the entire island.
Why is
Damn.
Why is there
Yeah.
2 beasts here?
It's just because
Because
that's
that's what
there.
his one does. When he appears, he brings a beast with him.
I would suggest up
And then he
here,
can be
we don't have.
anywhere on the board.
I
would
would suggest you're in the middle.
Or you could like have an influence.
Do we
here.
all 3 need to be
There's
next to each
nothing
other?
down in this corner.
Yeah.
Nobody's got any reach down in this corner, so that's an option.
Do
There's
we have
a few
anything
good
in
places.
the top left?
Green
there's a
is
few
fairly close.
Or
But yeah,
where?
it gives you a lot of options.
Trust me, I'm going to be able to reach across, snake right across this island within like 2 or 3 turns.
Okay.
Yeah, the snake does that. It moves fast.
I don't.
It literally is the entire island. It's just that I'm waking up in spots.
Yes.
Alright,
So
now,
that's our starting presence. We then
All right,
have
so-
our initial explore.
hold on, Malik.
Yep.
Because we got beginners, I'm going to go through the presence phase first. I'm going to
Okay, we can do the simple mode. All right.
we're gonna put 1 handicap in. All right.
That makes sense.
So
Okay.
okay, everyone. So at the beginning of your turn, okay, and we're doing this part first, because it is a this is the handicap we're giving because you guys are all new. You pick a growth. Every card has a growth at the top. It says growth.
Pick a growth.
Yep, pick a growth. Now, your growth will have you do things. Okay, so everyone come over to flames flicker like fire, shadows flicker like flame, so I can actually explain the growth mechanic. So when you grow, and this is going to be at the start of your turn, when you grow, you pick 1. Well, he says pick 1. Some will say pick 2. Some will say pick 3. One will say always this, then pick one of these. There's a lot of it depends on who's you're playing as. But his says pick 1. So he picks one of the options divided by the vertical lines. So he can either reclaim all of his discarded cards and gain a new card, or he can gain a card and put one of his presents, that's these red tokens down here, onto the board. Or he can put one of his keep in mind the arrow here, that's distant. So if you pick this one, you would grab one of these presents and you would have to put it in a land that is either 0 or 1 away from presents you already have. Okay?
So say with the president to put it either on top of the thing I already have or put it somewhere else, like next to it.
Yeah, you'd put it 1 away. So if you were to do that option right now, you could take this presence off your board and put it here, 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 anywhere around here are all legal, but not here. This is not a legal move because that's 2 away. So, and then your other last option is to put a presence up to 3 away from one of your already presents and gain 3 energy. This is your energy tracker. You will notice on the top left of all your cards, you have an energy cost. Some will say 1, 0, 8, 9. When you gain energy, you just simply put it into your energy tracker. So let's say we do that one first. You gain some energy, put your presence out, and then on your turn, you play a card. Once you've decided all the cards you want to play, your number of cards you can play is shown right here on your tracker. Right now you're at 2. You always use the rightmost number that is revealed. So putting your presence on the board not only adds your reach, it makes you stronger flatly.
Do I get to pick which form of presence I take? Like, so I can either gain an energy per turn, or I can gain an extra card play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So
the top track will get you more energy. The bottom track will get you more card plays.
there
Also,
are some that have
characters
more
have other things.
Yep, makes
unique.
sense. Yep.
For example, I have on one of mine, on my bottom track, I gain the ability to move the tribesmen around
So
every turn.
Yeah.
There's the growth phase and then the energy. Like, so if I grow here and then say
Then
gain
you
3
then
presence,
you
gain 3
then
energy.
you do your presence effect. So you grow. Your growth can get you energy. Then you get your energy from your presence and any other effects that happen for the presence.
And then I
Then
can
you
play
play your cards.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep in mind that when you play cards and you've committed to playing cards, you hit the pay button. So let's do this.
Please.
I'll just show you how that works.
Please. I can. I was already going to do that. I was just.
Oh, I'm not you, so it's not working for me.
I was
Anyway.
already going to do that, but I'm going to.
It's simple enough.
I'm going to start by actually giving myself presence. So I'm going to take 2 of them from here.
No,
that's not
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
gonna do.
not yet, not yet.
That's not.
Okay.
That's whose turn
Not
is
yet.
it first?
It's no one's turn first. Everyone, it's player's turn, the automated enemy's turn, then player's turn. All players play at the same time.
All right.
I get 1 a turn.
No, not
I get
yet.
an energy a turn.
Not yet. We're
Okay.
not there yet.
We're just explaining the rules for now.
We're just explaining the rules. Okay, now, because this is your guys' first turn, before anything else happens, everyone gets a single growth outside of any turn. So please pick your grow option.
All right. Well, action economy. So probably I'm going to want to do this. Yes.
You can only grow 1.
Oh, you can only grow.
So it says there's only one each. So you pick one of these 3 options, and 2 of the options are.
Why? Okay, so what is this? 3 turns
That's
away?
your range.
Oh, 3
range away.
I thought it was 3 growths.
So
No.
which one? So you're picking that one.
Give me a card.
Okay.
Where would I draw a card?
We'll see. We'll
do
do
I get
that
to
in a moment.
place them right now, or do I wait?
Place them up on your growth tracker you picked right now.
Does it have to be?
So
it either be 0 or 1, or does it have to be 1?
Yeah.
It can be 0. Usually, you want to reach out as far as you can.
Yeah.
Usually.
But
it can be. It can be the minimum. You usually don't want to do that.
If I have another growth on my starting one, do I stack it again?
What do you mean?
You only have 1. So you pick this growth option right here.
Hold on.
Slow down, everyone. Put your presence from.
Yes.
If just
so,
stop.
Hold on.
Mallet, let me talk.
Okay.
Everyone who's new, please put your presence from your track to your grow bar for the option you picked, so I know what you're doing, so I can go to each of you and explain how you do that if there's any questions. Okay?
So I've got.
So first, I'm going to start. Yes, Wolf?
If I place down 3 at the start of the game, why are only 2 of these open?
Because that's how
How are you
yours is
placing
built.
down 3?
I placed down 3 at the beginning of the game. I placed
Oh,
down 3.
right, your initial
your-
growth. Yeah,
Yeah,
So
your
why-
initial growth
initial...
isn't from your track.
It isn't from the.
Your-
The
Then
initial
why?
growth is separate post.
Then my question is, how have you already
The-
achieved this?
What?
Oh no, the
Because
moon is its
I
own thing.
have growth pick 2. I have growth pick 2, which means that I can pick 2 growth options, and I'm allowed to pick the same one twice, because some of them specifically say you can't. Mine doesn't. So I picked add presence twice.
Yes. So,
Because I grow super fast.
All right.
That's my gimmick.
so first, Shadows. You gain a power card, which means come over here. You pick either a major or minor power. Minor powers are free. Major powers cost you another power. You have to give up a power in order to gain a major power.
Major powers are also usually expensive, so you usually don't want to pick them up until you've got a decent amount of energy.
All right. Now, here are the 4 minor powers you can pick from. You want to pick a power that gives you colors that match your bottom thing down here.
Usually.
So you'll see on the side of the card, it has a number of colors. You want to get ones that give you the most colors that you can actually use. You also want to take a look at see what the card actually does. Because some are just really good fucking cards.
So what
Sometimes
does-
you won't care
what
about
does
your colors
gather up
because something
one-
is just good enough to be worth it.
What does gather 1?
So
oh,
gather...
That
so
looks like a mushroom.
I'll explain gather right now since it's right here. When I say gather, let's say I say gather 3 huts right here. That means I grab a hut from each of these spots and put it there. Or I can grab 2 huts from over here. So it's just pull things from adjacent tiles into that tile. Push is the exact opposite. You, let's say I push a Dahan for a hut from this tile. I can move it to any adjacent tile. These are useful because some things like this, they deal 1 damage per hut there.
All right, which makes sense. How much damage can a town take, by the way?
A town can take 2 damage.
All right, well,
A city can take 3.
and then
You can easily remember by the number of buildings that the little plastic piece has.
the goal
Yep.
is to destroy the towns, correct?
Yes, destroy
Basically,
all
yes.
the plastic parts of the board.
All right,
Yeah.
and then quick question then. Final clarification.
Mhm.
These things down here, where it says at the start here, 2 warriors, I will assume those are?
That is to fear.
2
Yep.
fear.
As
So,
you generate fear, we build up to earn fear cards.
all right,
Fear cards do good things, but we're not sure what good thing they'll do until they're revealed.
okay, but the 2...
Also,
But the question is...
also,
I had
Oh,
a singular
okay.
question here, and that is, do I spend the fear? Does this mean I spend fear to play this card, or does it
No,
generate?
you
No.
gain fear when you
you
play that
generate
card.
fear.
Thank you.
That generates fear.
Your cost
Also,
is on the
fear
top
is
here.
good. Yes. Also,
Yeah.
fear is good because it gets us closer to winning. Because
Yep.
as there's more fear, it makes it easier to win the game. At the moment, we have to destroy every invader. If we get enough fear cards, it becomes we need to destroy every building. And then eventually it becomes we need to just destroy the cities. We can leave the towns. And finally, you can just win if you generate enough fear because the invaders just go, yeah, you know what? Fuck this island. We're out.
All right. Oh,
So yeah, fear good, in short.
so thank you. Now finally, I'm gonna take Call the Bloodshed here if it will let me. Oh, I
Alright,
have to pick
hit the button that says pick power, right click on it. Alright, now put your presence 1 away from the other presence, another presence you have. Alright, now we're gonna do the bird. Bird's one is very simple. Take this first presence, put it up to 2 away from a presence you already have.
So, why does the presence location matter?
because it's where you can do your
Because
power.
It's where you can reach.
that's where your reach for your powers are. If you
Okay,
can't
so
affect
do
over
I-
here because you're not over there.
So I
You have no
do I
presence.
want a power in where
No,
city
no,
is?
no. Because this one is right adjacent to that spot, so you don't need anything here.
Actually, you
I want-
can,
Okay,
depending
so
on what your powers are.
yes, some powers will have range 0, but if you look at the stuff that's in your hand, you will see
I
that you've
know.
got range 1. Range 1 doesn't have range,
Special
and range
range.
2 of a holy site. Holy site is when you have 2 presents on the same tile.
Yeah.
I see.
So
So
for
my
you,
recommendation is to fling that like 2 away over here or up here, somewhere far away from you where you're currently at.
yeah. Because
Why
the
not
more
order?
spread out your things are, the more likely you can reach things.
Alright.
Which is useful, because then you can kill them. Or help them if they're things that we like.
So can I put it here?
Yep.
That is within range 2, yes, because from here to here to here. Cool.
And then I
Now,
put.
your other one, you put it where you already have something. You
Do I
already have 2
stack it
here.
again?
No, you already have 2 here, so it doesn't do you much good. But this one could use a second one.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yep. Which
Oh,
means
There
you
you go.
now instantly have a holy site, which is useful for your card that has range based on your holy site.
Yep.
Also, having 2
Alright,
presents
now.
next to the holy site.
Okay, so I
Yes.
see 1 growth tick here. Do you want to do a second? Do you want to do your other growth tick?
Yeah. Sharp Fangs gets 2 growth.
Yeah, you pick 2. So you pick this one, and you can pick this one again, or you can pick one of these 2, or if you had energy, you could pick that one.
Yeah. As a general rule, picking growths that get your presence out is a good idea in the early game.
Yep.
The number in the top left is the cost to play the card.
Yeah, but
Wait.
so you would want, if you want to
Oh,
play 3
that
cards.
yes, that is number of cards that you can play
Yeah.
in a turn, and that one is how much energy you generate passively every turn.
What does the animal mean? That you generate an animal
That
passively
means
every turn?
yes.
That is an element, and we can explain that once the growth is finished.
Yeah, you'll actually see up at the top tracker under Human's thing, it's already got an animal marker right there, and that's to show they always have an animal.
And we'll explain that in a second once Human has made their growth choices.
All right, now, so within
Range 3, jungle or beast.
so anywhere you
Interesting.
already have a presence that either has a jungle or a beast, range 3 of that tile, you can put each of your presents.
Yeah. It's a lot of
So-
flexibility, but with
Yeah.
some specifics.
Yeah, you can fling your presence pretty fucking far.
Yeah, I mean, he can throw it all the way over to here.
Yeah,
From
if
this
you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, you could reach all the way up into my area if you wanted.
Since you're doing 2 of them, yeah, you could drop one here, and then the next one can be from the one he just placed, go all the way up to here.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, 3 actually. He could go to this jungle if he wanted to.
Yeah.
You can literally say you have presence on every board after that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's up to you, but again, general rule, being spread wide is useful because, you know, fana, dirty joke here.
Good pick.
Yep.
Now for your second one.
Second one.
So another main
3.
reason
Yep,
why I'm
great.
doing this handicap growth, Malik, is because we have so many players. And me and you are good at this game, but I don't think we can make up 3 players worth of good.
Dude, that's a little harsh on everyone else.
They'll do fine.
Okay.
All right, now
So,
we explore into the mountains. This is the bad guy's turn.
yes.
So now that we've done our handicap growth,
So let's
the game
explain
actually
how
begins.
that works. So,
How did you figure out that they're going into the mountain?
every turn, we will. Normally, this happens after people have done their fast cards, which I will explain in a minute. But at the beginning of the game, we also have one of these cards. We flip the top card of the deck, and then it moves up one, and it does the thing it's on. So, for the first one, it explores. This puts explorers, which are 1 health plastic dudes, on everything that is that type, which in the case of this card, it shows mountain. So every mountain that is where there's a building, next to where there's a building, or next to the coast, which with the initial setup is always all of them. So
Yep.
yeah, that puts a lot of explorers in. That card then moves up. In later turns, that will mean that everywhere where there's a mountain where there's dudes will build a town, or if there's already a town there, it will build a city, unless there's more already a city there. Then it's which one is there less of. And then that card would move up, and then the next round it would start dealing damage and attacking, and we have to deal with that. But we don't need to worry about that for the first couple of turns. Okay, so something I was going to explain is elements. You'll notice at the top you've got trackers, which will keep track of your elements. You'll notice on the left side of your card you have elements. As you play cards, it will affect those trackers. And you will notice you have at the bottom of your big board, it has your abilities. So to look at Thunder Speakers, it's Thundering Destruction. It has a range of 1 tile from a holy site, and it requires 3 fire and 2 wind. So if on a turn he would play this and this and this, which he can't do at the moment because he doesn't have enough card plays or energy, but once he reaches the point where he can do that, he would go, I've got 3 fire, I've got 3 wind, I use my ability Thundering Destruction, destroy a town. If he gets up to 4 fire and 3 wind, it says you may instead destroy a city. And then 5 fire, 4 wind, and a water also destroy a town and city. So that means town or city. So that means he would get all of the abilities he qualifies for. So if he gets all of the things, he gets destroy a town or destroy a city, and also destroy a town or city. Also destroy a town or city. All of these have to be on the same target, however. So he has to pick 1 tile and blow up 3 buildings in that tile.
Yep. So
It's a pretty
now
powerful
that
ability once you get
I
those
essentially nuke a tile.
yes.
That's what the Thunderbird is good at, blowing up buildings.
And that causes blight.
No.
Oh, well, they
No?
just said I was bad at blight handling.
No. No. Blight is bad. You don't cause blight. You cause lightning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they just
Blight
said
is
I can't
bad.
handle blight.
Oh, right. Are you the flavor stuff? Yes. That just is you're not very good at defense.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When invaders attack, they will try to put blight on the board. That's a bad thing. That's how we lose the game. And all the thing is with your descriptor thing is just saying you're not very good at defense. That's what we're here for. It's a cooperative game. We defend things for you. You blow things up for us. Teamwork.
Yeah.
So how much fear do we need to win?
Several hundred.
20.
Yeah, over 100.
It says 20 right
So-
here. Or is that
But I
our
mean,
current?
it's between the 5.
It's 20
We need
times 11.
20 fear.
That's
Yeah.
That's 220
Jesus.
fear.
220 fear will get us an instant win. Although there's various stages that make it easier to win as we go through. Most of the time, we tend to reach destroy all buildings or destroy all cities. An
But
invader is anything made of
plastic
white
white.
plastic.
Yeah.
A city, a town, or an white plastic.
Plastic
Yeah.
bag.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if it says
It's actually really neat thing when especially if you've got the actual game in person, as you notice that all of the island pieces and the Dahan are made of wood, and all of the invaders are made of plastic.
also
It's
presence
really neat.
trackers.
I love this game.
The
So what's a
presence
Dahan?
trackers, the disease,
Yep.
the paws, all of that's made out of wood. And the invaders are made out of different colored plastic.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
blight right now. Oh, that's blight.
Sorry, for clarification, Dahan is the name of the tribal people. They're
Yeah.
on our side.
The native.
They're represented by mushroom pieces.
Yes.
Yeah,
They are
on
our
our
friends.
side. They're our allies. Some cards will use them. Also, as a general rule, if invaders attack where there are Dahan, then any Dahan that survive the attack will fight back.
All right.
All right. So
So,
now we actually get into our first turn.
Is it our
So
growth phase?
this
Yes.
is now our first turn. Everyone goes through their growth phase.
Ooh.
All right. Add 3 energy and put a presence 3 away from me. Put a presence 3 away from me. I don't have to put a presence 3 away from me, correct?
you don't have to, no. But as a general rule, you want to, because then you can hit things further away.
Give me a second. Range 0, range 1. So, the quick question is, do explorers have their attack phase, don't they?
Later, yes.
All right. So
Not just yet, because
next turn.
they don't on the first turn. But next turn, yes.
Next
they will
turn.
start attacking.
Will they
You want me?
Will they? No. I'm asking next turn. Will they build a town here, or because there's a
Yes.
Dahan here that
this turn they will attempt to build a town there.
So if I place more Dahans here, will they still attempt to build a town, and will there be a penalty for the Dahans?
Yes. There won't be any penalty, but they will just build the town.
All right.
The Dahan are generally peaceful. They will only fight back if they are attacked.
So I'm gonna
if
place.
they see building, they'll just let the invaders do that.
Oh, all right. So I placed my influence here.
Do we gain energy now?
And then
Do your growth first.
And then you
So,
gain your energy.
We already walked through your growth, so it should be pretty clear how to do your growth for the most part. Alright, and then after everyone's done their growth, just let me know.
I did.
I've done my growth.
Alright, now, you gain a number of energy based off your energy tracker. So, your energy tracker is 3 here.
Yeah, I gained 3.
Okay. Okay.
Alright.
Alright. Now, everyone gets to, play cards. You can play cards up to the number of maximum cards you can play based off your tracker.
You draw cards by
You gain a power. That's how you get a new card. You had to pick that during your growth.
How do you draw?
Oh, how?
Yeah.
Over here. You can pick right here. You either pick gain a major or gain a minor. Minor cards are free. You just pick one of the minor cards you want and take it. Major cards cost you another power card, and they're generally expensive. You don't want to get them until later in the game.
Yeah.
So
if
again,
you ever choose a growth which has gain power card, you do that.
Yeah. So you pick the one you want, and then that gets added to your hand. The rest get discarded. It's generally advised to pick ones that have colors that you like down here.
So, primarily Beast for you.
Yeah. Though
So
if
what
you don't
does-
like what the card does, you don't have to pick it.
Although
What
it's
does
always worth
lightning-
picking one up. If nothing else, you can then pick a major power and choose the one you don't like to get rid of. So,
what does lightning's boon actually do?
It turns.
Uh,
We'll get to that in just a moment.
wait,
Well, I don't know
It's
if I want
good.
to play it.
hold on.
Don't worry about
So,
it right
Lightning
now.
Spoon. Oh, right. Yes, we haven't explained that. So, cards are either blue or red in the top left. This is slow or fast. Red powers will activate after everyone is done playing their cards. Then there will be the Invader Phase. Then blue cards will activate.
Keep in mind, though, you are Lightning Swift Strike. You have a special ability.
Yeah.
Anything that is blue for you could be red.
Yeah. Down in the bottom left, it will say your special rules. So
On the card.
What-
So if you
what
look at your
blue
card, Terrifying
color?
Chase, it's blue. See the blue on the number
Yeah, I
and
see
see
it,
the
I see.
blue speed? And then you've
Yep.
got one like Prey Upon the Builders, it's red.
Mm-hmm.
Red means it happens as soon as everyone has finished playing their cards. Blue means it happens later.
Yeah.
I see.
So red cards are what's called fast. Generally, it is advised to deal damage at fast speed if possible.
right.
Um,
How do you?
yeah, I mean, you want to try and empty tiles out so invaders don't get to do things in those tiles.
How
But
does
then that isn't a problem.
damage work?
Oh, right.
We'll show you in a second.
Would this trigger before this?
Not
So I
necessarily.
get both the fear and the destroy.
Things happen. Well, after everyone's played their cards, we then reach the point where the red cards resolve, and they happen in any order that we as a collective decide. We
Okay.
could decide that this one happens, and then this one happens,
What is
and then this one happens, and then this one happens.
What is the speed token
Right,
here
okay.
doing again? Oh, it makes it the speed faster.
Yeah,
I am
that's
speed.
Lightning's gimmick. Lightning's gimmick is that for every wind that he generates, he gets a speed token, which he can put on one of his powers.
And
Which
everyone
does, by
Including
the
this
way,
one.
include your base power. Although at the moment your base power does nothing because you don't have enough elements.
And does that make
but
Does it make
later.
it go? Sorry, because I just zoned out for a second. I know I probably explained this. That makes it happen faster, correct?
Yes.
Yes, the speed token effectively means that the card is red instead of blue,
But
which is very useful.
is it like an instant thing, or okay?
It
Well,
makes
it will
faster.
be.
All
Everyone
fast
play
speed
your
cards
cards.
go off at the same time
I have
after
So-
everyone's played all their cards.
Yeah,
So we're waiting
everyone
for
pick
everyone to
your
play all their
cards
cards
first.
before anything happens.
Then I guess okay. I've already played my card. The only one we're waiting on is Human. If Human will actually play.
So hit pay. What does what do?
Okay, at slow speed, from a jungle that has your presence, range 1 to any target, get 1 fear and destroy a dude.
So in other words, it has to be one tile away from a jungle that you are
That you are in. You pick you you are purple, so you could use this one. You could literally just kill this guy right here. You just straight up kill this guy.
Speed is that the red cards happen after everyone's done playing cards. The blue cards happen after the invaders get to act. The target land is the land you choose.
Yeah, is where it goes. It will say any or have a symbol and or
Okay.
have some
Right,
other.
so that symbol on Teeth Gleam from Darkness is not Blight. So you can't choose a land that has a Blight token on it, which is the black plastic thing. So you couldn't choose here. So yeah. All right. So yeah, Cow still needs to hit pay.
Oh, sorry. I thought I wait.
No worries. And yeah, Bigger Fish needs to play 2 cards.
Up to 2 cards. You don't have to play 2
Yes.
cards.
You don't have to, but generally you want to.
Oh, so Lightning's boon is if I didn't have enough wind, I can make them bird anyway.
No, that's another player.
Yeah. Lightning's Boon lets you make another player use their abilities fast. So, like, you could pick
okay.
me and have my stuff go off immediately.
Base.
Because most of my stuff is blue. About half of Sharp Fangs is blue. Most of Snakes is red.
Yeah.
Most of Shadows is blue.
I see. Okay. Good to know.
Yep. Okay.
Alright. Now, hit
Once
pay
you've
when you're
made your
done.
choices, hit pay.
Alright, now.
Okay, everyone has paid.
Alright, Malik, do you want to invest in the snake economy?
Yes, I probably do. Which one do I not need? I don't need this one.
Alright, thank you. I'm telling you
This
now
is
you're
just
getting
us
paid off for the
understanding
snake
how cards
economy.
work. Don't
You're
worry
gonna
about
get...
what snake economy means. It's a gimmick thing that we understand because we've played this game for a while.
Can you? You can overlap.
Why are you putting a influence there, Snake? Why put an influence in the thing I already have an influence in?
Don't
So
worry
now
about
he
it.
can reach it as well.
Oh, yeah, but I have intents here. I want to let it
Don't-
grow
don't
and
wo-
then break it back down
don't-
with the with another card.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Alright, now. People who have red or the bird symbol that is from
Fine.
Lightning Swift Strike may resolve their fast powers right now.
Hmm.
So that is only the bird, because that's the only fast powers on the game, besides mine. So you may resolve both of your
hold on.
powers right now.
Yeah. So I would.
Hold on,
Oh wait,
hold on,
only
hold
I
on.
can do stuff right now. I thought other people had.
Yes.
Okay. I was thinking of pushing.
Hang on a second.
Yes. Your innates have red.
Yes. Hold on. I do have a power. Thank you very much.
ERP gets censored in Serpent. Okay, how do I turn off this chat censor so I don't get, like, losing my mind?
That's in configure interface or interface game
I thought it was a server setting. At least that's what I was told.
options server. No,
Why is
it's not in the
search?
server settings.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So I do actually have one. It's why don't you and them fight? Wait, no, I don't make it animal. I make it fire. There we go. So for my ability that is fast, I pick a land where I'm in because it's range 0, and a Dahan and
Got
an
it.
Invader deal 1 damage to each other. I kill
Click
this Explorer.
if you want to turn
This
off the
Dahan
profanity
is damage.
filter. Click the little speech bubble on the bottom left. Then above the speech bubble, there will be a gear.
There it
Click
is.
the gear for the chat settings, and then turn the profanity filter off.
Huzzah.
So what I was thinking is I would push the hand here,
Okay.
and then I would destroy this, and that would cause 3 fear.
Push up to do Dahan. Generate a fear if you push any Dahan into a land with building. So you
Yep.
generate 1 fear from that.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So that one's done.
And
And then you
Yep.
destroy a building, generate a fear.
so you generate a fear, you destroy a town,
That
and
generates a fear.
also, yes, whenever a town is destroyed, we generate 1 fear. Whenever a city is destroyed, we generate 2 fear.
So do we take this town off the board?
I already removed it.
Yes.
I wanted to
Well, that's
destroy
weird
this
because it's still there.
town.
Where?
There.
Oh. I removed it from the wrong spot.
Why are these Dahan upside down?
Because I saw
Yes,
this
I
was
flipped
flipped
one
after.
because well, technically that should be on state 2, but hey. That's how you tell that it has taken damage because my ability dealt 1 damage to it. It
Oh,
also killed
okay.
the Explorer. It's
That is
what I
what
did.
we are in right now. That is what we are doing right now, a human.
Yeah.
Alright, so does anyone else have a fast power they need to resolve? Human, this power goes off right now if you have enough reds and greens.
You have enough. So you may pick a land within range 1, gather a beast into it, deal 1 damage for every beast that's in it, and then push up to 2 beasts from it. Remember, your special rule is ally of the beast. Whenever you move beast tokens, you can move with them if you're in that tile.
So
Which
you
means
can
you
literally
can start prowling
say,
all over the board.
yeah. So let's say you pick this one right here. You can pick this tile. This beast comes over here. You move with it. It deals 1 damage, killing this guy. Then you can push it up to here, and you move with it. As just
As an
a
example.
hypothetical.
Although that's not a bad move, actually. Because it does
Yeah,
kill an Explorer. And killing
Yeah.
Explorers is good. Because
I mean,
killing
you
that
can do the
Explorer...
same thing. You could do the same thing over here, or over
Yep.
here, or up here.
Yeah. Because one thing that's important is, at the moment, the invaders are going to build in mountains. So if you kill every invader that's in a mountain, there's nobody there to do any building. They don't get a town. Yay.
Does the town automatically expand, or does it need another explorer?
No,
Yes,
we'll get
towns
there.
can build.
We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. If there's any invaders on a mountain tile during the build phase when it's mountain, which it is, it builds the next building that it does.
So it
You'll-
has.
So that question is going to get answered in time.
Yeah. But basically, if
Oh,
at fast speed you can remove all the enemies from a mountain, that's good.
Yeah.
Because that will prevent a build.
so I could have killed like 3 invaders by doing 1 damage to all invaders instead of what I did.
No. You could have,
Why?
because there's
Wait,
no
how
one
would you
who's
have
got
done
3 in the same
I
spot.
have a card.
Yes, but they're not in the same tile.
Oh,
you see-
right. It can only be a...
Look where my cursor. So move 1 there. Yes,
Yeah.
but you're not going to deal any damage to that building. Or you could deal damage to the building and leave the explorer up. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, you can destroy a town that way. If you move
Yeah,
both
but only
beasts.
one beast gets moved. What he could do is
Yes,
push.
you would deny a city, which is useful.
What he could do is push 2 paws from this tile into there, moving his presence, and then deal 2 damage, which would kill this, which is good. And then you may gather a paw into here.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Because you don't have to do them in the order that they're displayed on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, hold on.
No. You cannot move back. You cannot move back. You pick this tile, means you push. Actually, yeah, you're right. No. Yeah, you can't. We can't kill that city.
Yeah.
You get this guy, and this one damages.
Right.
No, you cannot because of the way the power works. Look, pick a target land without blight. You can gather one paw into that land. You can deal damage equal to paws in that land, and you can then push up to 2 paws from that land.
Hold on. I understand the mistake here. You can change the order, but the problem is your target land that you're pushing from is the one that had 2 originally, right?
Yes.
Which means that
So
if
the
you
damage
target
happens
this
here.
one to push 2, then the damage would happen on that tile where there are no enemies.
Mhm.
All of the effects happen to the originally chosen tile. Which, if you're trying to push 2 from this tile, means you're declaring this tile as the target.
Yep.
Which means there's nothing to deal damage to there.
Yes, that's why
It
this
can
is
be a
a
little at first.
difficulty mediate moderate character.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
told you to pick the low ones. I'm not going to stop you, but it's going to be more confusing.
Okay, so put the explorer back, because he is changing his mind. Are you going to clear out a different tile? I mean, clearing out tiles is good, so
Yeah,
that would be
any
my
of the
advice.
tiles that there are a good one to clear out. Like you could do that
Yeah.
too.
So you could, for example, choose this tile, and then use the gather ability to pull the beast in, then kill, then use the push ability to move beasts out. It can take a bit to learn. Once you get the hang of it, it becomes a lot very intuitive, but it can take a bit of it can be a little confusing when you've got stuff that moves things out and in of different tiles to know where everything happens. But once you get the hang of it, you just recognize you pick one tile to affect. Blue happens after the enemy turn, yes.
So right now you're just prowling.
I would recommend this one because that has blight on it, and it's very, very bad if an enemy gets more than 1 blight in one tile. So killing them before they get the chance to do that, generally a good idea. Cool.
And then you can push back if you want.
Then you
Yes.
could push it out of there or into a different spot. Alright, that creates a holy site.
Yep, and gets you more beasts.
Yeah, because all your holy sites count as a beast.
During your spirit phase, you replace one of your presents with a beast. The replaced presence leaves the game. Oof.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. He decides to turn one of his presents into a beast.
Does he?
Put that there. That's what he said. So now there is a second beast there. Yes, beasts are very important for you. So that's that. Is that every fast power?
Yes.
You do not trigger your innate fast power, so okay. So that's every fast power completed. So now we move on to the event phase, which is play the top card of the event deck. Do the thing it says. So we have a healthy land, so we get the healthy land effect. On each board, add blight to a land with buildings. Spirits may prevent this on any or all boards by paying X energy per board, where X is the number of cards in the Invader discard. So the number of cards in the Invader discard
0.
is 0. Yeah, I'm going to pay 0.
I pay 0.
No,
Yeah, I
I'll
pay
pay
nothing.
0.
I think we
Yeah.
can all pay 0. Cool.
Yeah,
Nothing
let's pay
bad
0.
happens.
Okay.
I pay 0 for all boards.
No, I pay 0 for all boards.
Damn.
Thank you very much board as well. Thanks.
Yeah. And each
So,
land with
Fatalities rise. On each land with disease, deal 1 damage to each invader and each Dahan. Damn. Okay.
What disease?
So this Dahan takes damage.
Disease is the little yellow disease marker.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
This Dahan takes damage.
That-
If it
It
doesn't
already did.
already.
It's actually pretty useful.
Yeah.
Gives us some easier targets.
What about the Blighted Land
Nice.
part?
Blighted Land is what happens if all of the blight comes off of this card, which is where blight comes from when enemies put it down.
Wait, all of the blight.
That's why one of the reasons why we don't want that to happen,
No, I mean.
because that's how we lose the game.
I mean for this part of this second part here, the Blighted Land.
Yes,
Ravage.
that's what he just explained.
Yes, so there's a number of blight on this card. If it runs out because the invaders put too much blight on the island, we have a blighted island, and then the game gets a lot harder, and we
Alright.
usually lose. Okay, so then we have each spirit may add a Dahan to one of its lands that has Dahan. So
All
pick
right.
somewhere where you are and Dahan are, and put an extra Dahan there.
I would like to put
Where
a
do I grab
Dahan
it?
here.
This is my only legal target.
Why is the city like knocked over?
Because
Show
it's
that it
missing
has
health.
taken 1 damage this
Oh,
turn.
that classifies as an invader?
Yes.
I
A
thought
city is an invader.
only these explorers counted as invaders, but I'm
No, an invader is any
Any
of the
white
plastic
plastic model.
alright.
Yeah. So explorers,
Okay, purple,
towns,
purple.
and cities.
Purple. You have no valid target, purple. You do not get a Dahan because you have no valid target. It has to have one of your purple pieces and a wooden mushroom in it to get an extra wooden mushroom.
Because otherwise there are no mushroom people to fuck to produce more mushroom people.
They praised the rabbit spirit.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We then reach the fear phase. We have not earned any fear cards, nothing happens. But
Alright.
it's there.
So it's now blue.
And then I do some shit.
What are we waiting for?
Nothing.
Big fish? No, you do not get to place a harm.
No.
The rule of the card is that you have to be somewhere where there are Dahan, and none of the tiles you're in have Dahan. So you don't get to place one, unfortunately.
That's a lot of
It
invaders.
happens. A lot of times you'll miss triggers when it comes to events because you can't know what's going to happen. Okay, so
Wait, why-
we then move to the
We haven't done the blue cards yet.
yeah, we haven't reached the blue cards yet. That happens later. So
Alright.
there was the fear effect.
Alright,
We then
now
have
we do.
the ravage. There is no card in the ravage on turn 1. So we then have the build. Every mountain that is able to build does so. It builds a town unless there are more towns than cities, in which case it builds a city. That's bad. Okay. We then have the explore, which in this case, the revealed card was sand. So an explorer goes into every sand, unless we've managed to completely cut them off from civilization, which we have not done so. It's very rare to do that. All right. And now blue cards go off.
Alright. Well, I guess
Hey, Malik.
Yes.
You made sure to get an energy for investing into the snake economy initially, but you also get an energy now for the payout from the snake economy.
Huzzah. Already. So, for my effect, I get to put strife onto a building. Strife means that during the Ravage step, they will not ravage because they're too busy dealing with their own riots inside their own city. Then I make it so that an invader with Strife deals damage to other invaders and generates an additional fear for each invader. So this city goes insane and kills all of the people around it.
Does the city also not take damage?
No, the
They
city itself does not
Alright.
take damage. They send out a bunch of witch hunting mobs and everybody dies. It's brilliant. It's glorious. I'm actively trying not to get into character. Snake knows what I'm talking about.
Let it slip, Malik. Go. I'll take over explaining the game.
Oh, I missed my innate power. One of my innates. Should I
Yeah.
do that now?
Yeah, go
It's
on and
meant to be
resolve it.
fast, but I missed the trigger. Okay. This is one of my favorite ones. So, within range 1, I'm gonna pick this Sans.
Sans Undertale?
Ha 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 ha. And I have the effect of let's see what happens.
What?
So, I pick that sand, and something happens there.
What?
I
Defend
defend 4.
Okay.
Cool.
What does that mean? Does that mean that they're stunned for 4 turns or something?
No.
No, that would mean that when they ravage this turn, which they're not doing, they would do 4 less damage. But they're not ravaging this turn, so nothing happens. This is part of the problem of let's see what happens. I might draw something useless. I might draw something amazing. Who knows? Not me. That's the fun of it.
Yes, you
Yes,
may
we are
resolve
currently
your
doing
blue
blue.
now. So that's
More
from
beasts. Fear. Kill
I
explorers.
would pick that
Killing
guy.
explorers in slow phase is nice. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it lets you just go, oh, you were going to build something? No.
Yeah, I would just straight up kill that guy. That's probably going to
Yeah.
be the best guy to kill.
Or that one. Or that one. That one's actually a good choice because there's blight on that tile.
Yeah, that's actually a really good choice.
Oh no, he can't reach that one because he has to be from a jungle.
Yeah.
So anyway, he has to pick one. Your blue cards. Or other people's blue cards. Because we've still got favors called due, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, we are
Yes.
doing blue cards.
Resolve your blue cards. I've said that
I
twice.
keep saying this.
Well,
Alright,
actually
well,
4 times.
At least.
I don't like this one, but I am going to... Give me a second, let me read this card again. It outnumbers invaders, okay. So, the city's worth how many invaders? Or is it just one?
It is one invader. It is
Alright.
only one
Well,
invader.
if you gather 4 here,
I can't target there.
you would outnumber it.
I can't target there.
That's fine.
Range 1, and you are red. So yeah, you can't target there.
You can, however, target
Right.
here, 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 or here.
Yep.
Well, out of everything, I'm going to snatch these away. Or does it gather?
Yes, Fish.
I have to
That's
snatch.
Don't flip it. Rotate it.
I have to snatch. Do I snatch them from the ground,
Yes.
or do I snatch them from somewhere else?
When it says gather, you pick the
Oh, where's the
target
guy you
tile.
removed?
Wait,
Oh, he's
what?
from up there. He
Please.
removed it from up here.
Good
Oh,
choice. Okay,
did you
hold
move
on,
this
hold on.
paw?
Please.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so let me explain for Wolf. So you pick the target tile, which is which one?
I'm thinking I want to do this one.
Okay.
Okay.
Into that tile, you can gather 4, which means from tiles next to it, pull them in.
Do I have to,
Paws are up here. If
Do
you
I
need to
have
grab
to
a
gather
paw,
four?
pull it out of there.
Oh, sorry, what was that, Wolf?
do I have to gather 4?
No.
This card says up to 4, so no, you don't have to gather 4. Some will say that you have to do the full amount, but this one doesn't. Okay, then, if invaders are present and Dahan now outnumber them, they do, generate 3 fear. Huzzah.
There are now 4 Dahan
We're
here.
halfway to our first fear card. Teeth gleam from darkness. Still got to do that one.
I'm
Which
gonna be right
adds
back.
a
I'm getting a
beast
snack.
somewhere.
Also, I may have to eat dinner within like the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
I'll be back.
It must be within range 1 of a jungle that you are in.
Yep.
So you can't choose that tile. Because you're not in a jungle there. So yeah. That works. Cool. And also that generates another fear. Lovely.
Oh.
Okay. And that is a turn. So, you take all your cards. You stick them down by the side as a discard pile. You right-click on paid to say that you are not paying for cards at the moment. Everything that you've played is discarded. There we go. Cool.
Yeah.
And there we go. That is a full turn cycle. Anything that has taken damage
Right-click on
goes to
paid.
full health. Yes.
And then we do our
It
growth
is
phase.
the next turn. We are on growth phase, and that is a completed turn cycle. Although most of them will have Ravage, and that will be happening from this turn onwards. So,
Gain power card.
So,
Do I
the
want
thing
more
with-
minor or mage?
okay, I think we should explain Ravage so that people know how to defend. Although, does anyone even have defend?
I do.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Okay, so nobody has any defend, I think, among the people. Yes, everything heals at the end of a round.
Alright.
Okay, so considering none of you
Where
have
did you
defend,
pull this presence from? If you're just picking that one there, you grab your cards from your discard, you get a new power card, and you gain 1 energy.
you don't put any presents down with that power.
Yeah.
With that. No, we're talking to Cow.
Yeah.
What's up?
Cow, your growth choice doesn't put any presents on the field.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry. I think I want territorial strife. Do I?
Oh boy.
Yes.
We don't have good defense at the moment.
No, I'm defending 4 in this locations.
Do I add my energy now? Or no?
After you're done with your growth, add your energy from your tracker.
Okay, so 4 is not enough to protect that one. I'm gonna assist you in protecting that one. Wink, wink.
Do what you gotta do, man. We
Yeah.
need protection on this one, or destruction, either way. In fact, if Lightning Swift Strike just straight up blows that one up, that'll be great. You literally have a card that just says blow one up.
I know.
Like you
I was
can
gonna do damage one damage to each invader.
no, that card is not very useful right now.
Well, wouldn't it kill all the explorers?
It would
Like,
kill.
It
It
would
would
kill
kill
the
every explorer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It
there's
won't
only
kill
one
any buildings,
explorer.
but it'll kill every explorer.
Right,
Yeah,
but I mean,
there's not a lot of explorers in a single tile right now.
well, it has a range of 1, so wouldn't it? Oh, right, okay.
No. You would pick a
Yeah, I
tile that
understand
is
that.
one range. Yeah.
I understand that.
All right. Well, I plan to
Hold up,
make.
stop.
Ah.
Right click on paid first.
Why?
Because it resets your paid. There you go.
Well, I intend to make use of the fact that I've gathered you all here today.
Oh, did you grow?
I did grow. I
Okay.
drew a power card and then placed out my presence. So I
Okay.
then also intend to commit some withering and fading.
Hey, Fangs. Sharp Fangs behind the leaves. Do you want to help me with a killing spree? It'll be fun, honest. Yeah. Would you mind just putting some beasts into this tile, please? At fast speed. Using your innate ability. This one, please.
Yeah.
I only need one to be there.
This one.
Yep.
Where did you want me to destroy, sorry?
Yeah, using your innate ability, put a beast from somewhere adjacent to there into there. We only need the one.
Yeah. If you could just do that for me, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do that too. If you can.
Where did you want me to destroy?
Oh, you can't do both, I'm assuming? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I can change my plans.
So
Yeah, I can change my plans.
does someone want to invest in the snake economy?
What does that entail?
I could
lose one of your presents from the board, but get good stuff.
I could
invest in the you literally remove a presence from the board and hand it to me, but you get good stuff out of it.
A lot of my stuff has range 0 though, so I'm not sure if I want to invest in the snake economy.
The main thing you get out of the snake economy is energy. So if you have a lot of energy gain, Swift Strike flickers. You probably don't want to invest right now.
Yeah. Okay, I've changed my choice, so I don't need to worry about that. So, you see this tile here? So,
okay.
Oh wait, we haven't done everyone's cards, have we? Let's wait until everyone's done all their cards.
Everyone play your cards and hit pay to let us know that everyone's done. You too, Malik.
Yeah, hold on. I'm having
Where did you want me to destroy?
the board thing.
Oh, this tile. Blow up that city.
Okay, I blow up that piece.
Cool. We get 2 fear out of that.
Hooray! Useful.
Yeah. Hold on. I need to create. There we go.
Okay. How many cans can I stuff in this Olive Garden breadstick bag?
I don't know.
You play your cards, and then you hit pay, and then after everyone has paid, we then resolve. Yeah. You have to click pay.
Bigger fish. Please hit pay.
Alright, there we go. Right, now we resolve reds.
Right. So, this tile up here. Something happens there. Hopefully something good.
I'll find out.
1 fear per type of invader, and push up to 1 per blight.
Well, there's no blight there, but there's one of each type of invader, so I generate 3 fear.
Nice.
That's kind of useful. Over enthusiastic arson. I destroy the town. Generate 1 fear. Then we see if I went a little too far. There is no fire symbol on the milled card. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I burned down exactly 1 town and nothing else. Everything's fine. It's all good.
Well, you already paid, human, so pay more attention to the cards you place down.
Oh, Human, do you want to invest in the snake economy?
You could actually explain what that means.
So the main thing it gets you is energy, which is what you lack. You only generate a max of 4 energy per turn. Not right now, but it is something you're lacking, so I'm offering you the investment opportunity. Shadows gets 6, he gets 3, that's why I offered it to him first. You get 4, so you're next on the line. He gets 5. Yes,
5.
but you're going to get cards later that cost more. It's an investment. The more energy you build up in the early game, the more energy you have later for playing big
costs
cards.
a presence.
Yes. That's why it's an investment.
This one?
Okay. Yeah. Just grab your own presence and just hand it to my board. Just put it on my board. I'll fix it from there. What you get out of that immediately is 1 energy, which I've accounted for you, and you get 1 of these this turn. This can be literally anything you want for the purposes of these down here. So, which one do you want? Okay, you just grab it. All right. Anyone else have any fast powers they need to resolve right now?
Nope. Unless someone makes me fast. No.
Yeah.
I
Go on.
can't do that yet.
Not this turn.
Cool. So
Oh.
do the thing.
I'll be able to do that next turn.
Yes, you do your red
I'll be right
powers
back.
now.
Yeah, that's. These are just straight up removed from the game.
Wait, do you have a holy sight? Purple? No, you don't. This card doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything, but he played it for other reasons.
He played it by accident and he already paid.
Yeah.
You can undo it. If you right click on paid without moving your cards, it refunds the cost and then you can put your stuff back. Because you can't use Promises of Protection at the moment because it's range 2 of a holy sight. Wait, you do? Where do you have a holy?
Right there. He did it in the wrong order.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Then yes, yeah, he could do that. He can put the Dahan there and make them strong.
Yeah.
Which doesn't help much, but hey. Cool.
I mean, it's not horrible.
Hmm.
Well, and
What does this F here mean?
What does what, sorry?
What does this... Okay, so what does this F here mean? And this,
oh, that's the board. marker.
Yeah, that's
That's
just
to
a
tell you
board
which
marker.
board it is.
All right, so we got F
Yeah.
board, E board, D board, C board, and A board.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter. It's just a thing.
It's just a thing to help you keep track of your boards. It's in case you ever broke or lost one, you could call the company and say, "Can I get a replacement this board?"
Yeah. So for reference, by the way, in future when picking new cards for Sharp Fangs doesn't usually make many Holy Sites. Since it's got a lot of put presents 3 tiles away and move presents around.
Mhm.
So you may
I'm
want
back.
to try and pick cards that don't have range of Holy Sight as its target. Just in
Alright,
future.
so are you gathering into this tile?
I mean, that's one of those things that you don't really do until you know the game.
What about
Not
Okay.
yet.
rank the holy site
That's
stuff?
slow. It's blue.
Frenzied Assault is a slow card, yeah. So effect, rather.
Yeah, but are you going to gather into this tile to prevent its build? Yes. Okay. So there is
Nice.
a
That's very useful.
special mark there.
I nuked that province. And now the
Okay.
Tigers have decided to take over.
All right. So that's all the fast event.
Hold on. There is still the hunt. The innate here.
Already did it. He killed a city. Which,
Oh,
speaking of,
okay.
2 fear from that city kill.
So why does
Okay.
the fear pool say 1?
Sorry, what was that?
You killed a
Oh,
city.
cool. Yeah, we keep generating fear, and every time we hit 20, the fear pool resets, and we get a fear card.
Okay.
And we've managed to get up to 19, so we only need one more to get a another first fear card.
Yes, I took care of the fear.
He's been doing
No, just everyone, just tell me how many fear is generated. Don't generally generate fuckbus fear on your own.
So did you
Yeah, it's
generate the
generally
one?
best to have one person in charge.
Did you generate the 1 fear from my card and then the fear from
Yes.
destroying the city?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, so is that every fast card effect? I
Believe
think
so.
it is.
Yep.
Awesome. Event card.
Event. Boys have +1
For the
HP.
rest of the turn, explorers have +1 HP.
Like,
All right,
Each
Paul
beast
generates a
generates a
fear.
fear if invaders are present.
All right, there's 2 beasts here, so that's 2 fear.
Did you get our
There's a
first fear card?
there's a fear there. Both of these beasts migrate to a different spot with an invader. So I'll let the Beastmaster migrate these 2 beasts, and you may move your presence with them.
That
This
one
one.
moves over to there.
So Beastmaster, pick where those 2 beasts go. They move to one of the tiles.
One thing I will say, you probably don't want to put presents where there's about to be a ravage that isn't defended.
Yeah, that's
Because
a
otherwise you're
bad
going to
spot.
lose that present.
Yeah, that's a bad spot. Okay,
Yeah, that one's defended. That's safe.
that works. You're good.
Does that generate extra
Okay,
fear?
we have...
No.
No. On each board, add 1 Dahan to an inland land with Dahan. So inland is anywhere that isn't by the
This is
coast.
the only valid target for this one. This this is the only valid target for that one. This is the
Oh
This
no,
is
wait,
the
never mind.
target there.
No, there's multiple targets here, and that's...
Yes, I'm doing this strategically. Don't worry.
Okay.
So what
This one, so it'll at least attack back.
what are these provinces?
What?
The blue ones.
That's ocean. Nothing happens there unless there's a very specific sub rule in the game that
Okay.
no one picked because no one picked the fucking ocean. Because that is an
Right.
option.
The ocean is super fun, but I'm playing Trickster,
Yes.
and I'm trying not to be manic too much.
Too manic.
Go Manic. Have fun.
Alright. And then we
Yeah.
get our fear card.
Oh fuck, it's coming out.
Defend 2 at all lands with a presence.
Awesome! That's actually useful this turn.
That actually saves us a blight. That actually is fucking baller.
Yep. That saves us something. Sweet.
So defend 2 to all lands with the presence?
Yep.
Yes, but it only matters in the mountains.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
what if I want this defended, just in case from a disease?
No, you're fine.
I mean,
It
it's
doesn't
defended,
matter.
but that won't do anything.
Disease won't defend.
We don't need to mark it.
Okay.
It's already defended. We just don't mark it.
So let's make sure we clearly explain how the Ravage. So, the Ravage card is currently mountain. This mountain. The only thing that could attack has a strife on it. So instead of attacking, it just removes the strife token.
No,
This
the
mountain
riot.
has no invaders, so nothing happens. Right. This mountain has one explorer. Explorers deal 1 damage. But could you? Okay, I'm trying to explain things, but okay. So an explorer does 1 damage, which damages a harm but doesn't kill it. And it also does 1 damage to the land, which isn't enough to cause a blight. Then the Dahan go, the fuck you doing? And each Dahan deals 2 damage back, which is 6 damage. That man is incredibly dead.
He
Does that
is
generate
literally a
fear?
bloody smear.
Yep.
Does that generate
This
fear?
mountain is empty.
Okay.
This mountain had defend 4, so it was defended. All the damage was negated to both the land and the Dahan, and the Dahan killed back. Same thing happened here. Same thing is going to happen here.
That entirely messes with
This
everything.
land. Okay, this land is a bad one. Here, the explorers deal 3 damage to the land, which puts a blight down, and 3 damage to the harm, which leaves only one of them alive. Then the Dahan counterattack for 2 damage, which kills the 10. This tile has defend 2, so the only amount of damage that goes through is 1. Yeah, you can still choose your targets in slow phase to kill things afterwards. To kill things where there's going to be the Ravage on Sands. Anyway, no damage goes through, and there's no Dahan to counterattack. Note that if Blight had gone down here, it would have removed a presence for each player that had presence there. So it's a good thing you got that defend 2 when you did. Then the sand has its build. We've already gone through that. Then the wetlands explore, same as always.
So how would we destroy them all if they all spawn on this turn every
Explorer
time?
goes here. Snake, Explorer
Yep.
goes here. By killing faster than they can spawn. As we build up more power, we're going to start getting major powers, and we're going to be able to actually do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we grow stronger. We will reach the point where we can, provided things are going well, completely overtake their ability to grow.
Wait. Oh, this
What?
explorer build. No.
Okay.
Okay.
And then everything moves up, and then we get our slow phase.
Calum and Human get 1 energy apiece.
Hooray.
And can I just destroy this
This is
town
why
with
you invest
my
in Snake.
card? Or would we like to use that somewhere else?
Sorry, what was that?
I have a card that does 3 damage to either an explorer or a town. Or I can cause
Okay,
a strike within.
The target has to be somewhere where there's a city.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
like here?
you could choose this city and kill the explorer and the town.
Good idea.
Yeah.
That's
Alright,
actually not a
so
bad play.
yeet.
Yeet, indeed.
Alright,
And that generates a fear because you destroyed a town. Snake, did you put the fear for that town?
Got it.
Did you get fear for all the towns we destroyed earlier?
For during the
attack,
rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Couldn't
we do
be?
get that.
We destroyed 7 towns there, didn't we? These 2 tiles
Yes.
had. Alright.
Don't worry about it. I got every town that was destroyed during that portion. I was managing the whole thing.
Alright.
I will put a strife.
What's
here.
most important is that
This
you
is
manage
ridiculous.
your turn. I'll manage my turn and the enemies. Don't worry about that.
So I'm worried
I
about.
choose this
Yes,
tile.
it is blue time.
So I'm worried about my holy sites. Right now, 2 out of my 3.
Don't worry about that.
Suddenly, tigers.
Well, isn't next Ravage they're gonna spawn?
So, something to note. I defend 3 locations at once. So
Okay.
I can pick any 3 locations that I want, and defend them.
Okay.
Well,
Although
if
they
they
have
are
to be near
adjacent,
each other.
they have to be
Yeah.
near each other. So I can defend these 3, or these 3, or
Okay.
these 3.
He's very good with these.
Yeah, or there are a couple of places where I can defend 2, but I'm going to defend 3 out of these 5 next turn. It's just how it's going to happen.
Mhm.
So, if you can deal with one of these tiles, deal something to them so that I don't have to deal with them, I would appreciate it. These ones. If you can deal any damage to any of these 4 tiles, preferably killing a town, I'd appreciate it. Wolf, what's up?
My 2 cards are almost half useless because I was planning to eliminate the 2 cities here because I didn't know that they would be eliminated from the fact that I moved the Dahans. Now I could. Now that these exist, I can now turn this to a town.
Yeah.
And then kill it. And that helps. That's literally the best thing to do right now. I just said do that.
Then turn it to a
That
town.
clears that tile. Okay. So that destroys a town, which is 1. And the card itself generates an additional 2. Do you want me to do that, Snake? Or
I got
okay,
it.
you
And
got
then this destroys it.
Then this, that destroys it.
I don't know why sometimes it flips them upside down when I try to tap them, but there you go. Cool. Good stuff. Tile solving.
Can I know what this does if I were to remove it next turn?
We would gain 4. We would gain 4 energy per turn.
Oh, that's displayed under. Okay. Never mind.
I had 1 fear. Okay, go on and remove the Explorer.
You
Okay.
just eat things in the water.
Okay.
Which tiles need to be defended? Who said?
Currently, it's going to be sands, and remember that snake can cover ones that are next to a tile of his choice.
Right. So,
So he can
Snake, which
pick
one
like
did you?
this one and this one.
Right.
Yeah, I could.
Although my pins didn't work.
Well, I have a pole card that I can make go with blue. So I'm trying to figure out. Are we done with this phase?
If you're done resolving all your blues, put your cards in discard and set your pay to red. That's what I use to see if we're ready to move on.
Yeah. Yeah, once you've done with everything, put it in your discard and set your pay to red. Make sure you do it in that order, otherwise it will refund your energy.
Wolf human.
So yeah, we're waiting on wolf and bigger fish.
Wolf, I think you accidentally refunded.
I did.
It happens.
Human.
Hello? You there? He's not moving.
They said be right back restroom. Literally, that's the last message.
Ah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Alright, well, we can put their stuff away, but though.
Your communication
Alright,
through
I'm
the
not
game
gonna
again.
hold up growth for them, so go on and do your grow
Communication through
phase.
game again.
Oh, sorry about that.
Is it time to get a major power?
How many
don't know.
powers do you have?
I have 3 powers currently in my hand.
You also have 3 in your discard.
Do
Do you have any power you dislike?
You got 6 energy.
Wait a second. First, let me start by where should I put this influence? I could make this a holy site. You know what? Yeah, I'll do a. I'll make that a holy site. So can I discard things from my from my discard as well? Like, could I get rid of one of these?
Yes. Yeah. Hit right click on pay and then do your growth. You can get rid of any card you currently have.
Well, I don't particularly like Here There Be Monsters.
Yeah, so you can replace that one.
Gain a major. How do I? What do I have to do to get rid of this?
Alright, click the major
Just
first, pick the major you want. Fire and Flood and Pillar of Living Flame are fucking baller.
yeah.
It
Especially if you
depends
can
on
get
what.
the elements, which
Yeah.
I mean you can. You can get the elements for transform to a murderous darkness, but
Yeah, also
eh.
flame he's a fire based, he wants to get 3 flame anyway. So 4 flame is just plus
Fair
1
enough,
Why
more.
am I currently at 0, 0, 0, 0? I have to spend it.
Because you
Because
have
it's
no
based on
element.
what.
Yeah. I Murderous Darkness is kind of rough.
It is. It is a tough cost for a powerful card,
Yeah.
but it's a very tough cost.
What is the
But it
mountain
is all of
thing?
his colors. He's probably going to get all 3 of the abilities whenever he plays it.
Yeah.
What is the mountain?
What mountain?
This
Oh,
thing.
that is Badlands. Badlands is everything that deals damage deals 1 more. Take note, if you have an ability that deals 1 damage to everything, a Badlands only does 1 additional damage to one of those targets. So no, you can't use Badlands and 1 damage to each invader to just destroy Infinity Invaders. We try it.
Now what do I do? How do I discard now?
Alright, now pick the card you want to get rid of.
This one.
Alright, flip it.
Flip it.
It is a
It
normal,
is.
so it
Yep.
just goes to the discard all the way up here. If we ever manage to completely run out of this deck, we shuffle the discard back in and put it back in.
Wait, I was supposed to discard a card? What?
Did you gain a great power, a major power?
No.
Then no.
I drew a minor power.
Then you're fine.
Okay. No.
I will have to
Make
eat
sure
soon,
make sure
but
everyone does their growth.
I have to eat
Okay.
terribly soon.
Okay. Do you just want to call it?
I don't know. I have to eat in like 10 minutes at max. If I don't
Yeah,
be hearing
but-
my name.
How long do you think that you'll be?
I agreed to do something at 7:30. I would be gone for around 15 minutes, 20 minutes, don't know.
Okay, so you'll probably want to drop out of the game so you'll have time to do stuff. It's alright. Shit happens, yo.
Yeah, how would I drop out?
Which color are you? Red?
Red, yep.
Where was your board? Your board was this one? What we would do is, I would remove this board from play.
This board
In
is
any
my board.
press,
My stuff is there.
I know, but it's in the middle. Because this is mine, it's easier for us to move this one. We'd remove that board from play, and I would just transfer these presents to their equivalent number on this board.
Alright.
That's fair.
So if you want to do that, just let me know when you're doing that.
I'll do it. Yeah.
All right.